What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kurz Real Estate Show. Today, we're knocking out this show with Eric and Dustin.
What's up, guys?
These guys are the stars of Broker Crashers. In case you haven't checked that out, hit YouTube. You'll find it on there. Broker Crashers is an episode in which these two guys go to different broker open houses and crash them. And then they rate them on their food, their
signage,
their design, their greeting, the whole nine. And they rate them with a very, very specific encoded scale in which, like, they've created all on their own, right? It's not a scale of 1 to 10. It's a scale of 1 to 10,000 bananas, pineapples, or sometimes peaches.
Ooh. Yes,
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Passion fruit. I'm waiting for the eggplant.
So emotional.
Welcome to 2018, y'all. This is episode 2 of 2018. Last week we did a pretty cool episode. We talked about the opening of our second office, and we had our sales manager and co-owner of our second office in here for that. Today we're taking things back to the grind, man. And honestly, I'm in talking to both of you guys and in talking to a lot of the agents in the office, people are making very strong changes moving into 2018, just evaluating what happened in 2017, evaluating their sales, evaluating what worked, what didn't work, taking things off, putting things on, making significant changes in which their careers will only enhance, right? The flow will only enhance, their clients will be better served, and they'll be able to connect with more people, which is critical and 1,000% important in this business. Because if you're not connecting with people in this business, well, then you can't sell nobody's house if you don't know nobody, right? Makes sense? So I know that you're adapting some stuff. You're adapting some stuff. I want to talk a little bit about it. We had a situation where a lot of agents were receiving leads, doing things, making things happen. But then as you get busy, follow-up seems to always fall off a little bit. And then if you have a team, and this is no discredit to anyone's team, but if you have a team, oftentimes you get into a feeling that the team just doesn't produce the same way you do, right? Like it's just, and I think that's team, we can call it team leader complex. Like we can do a whole show about team leader complex, right? Like, and listen, the woes that you and go through, Jen goes through, like every team leader has that, you know what I mean? Like, if I had that deal, I would have closed it 3 weeks ago, you know? Right. And so, like, you got this shit going on in your head, but the truth is that if you don't have a team and you don't have assistants, then you can't leverage yourself. If you can't leverage yourself, you can't grow, because then you're the one doing everything, and you can only do so much. You know what I mean? I think it comes to a point where you start having to trust your team in the systems that you've provided them, you know, and giving very good, specific coaching and training. I think is very key. But seriously, team leaders have a complex about them. This, I am God feeling.
I don't know if I'd say I'm God.
But you're
God-like.
Yeah,
all right,
did.
demigod.
It's on my Facebook.
I recorded it.
You were there.
But it's just I think moving into 2018, people are making changes in their marketing, people are making changes in their businesses, and the reason that they're doing such is because 2018 is already foreseen to be a very strong market. Right. And I don't know where you are in the country, but I know that the rest of the country is doing pretty well, and Miami is very strong right now. Miami's kicking ass, prices are moving, things are happening, and we're in a situation in our business and which we want to adapt, and we want to make things happen to enhance our business. So Kurz Real Estate made a lot of significant changes. And then, so what are the changes that you guys have made on your team? Like, what are the changes that maybe you've adapted? And you doubled up on lead flow.
Doubled up on lead flow, but I'm changing my direction on lead flow completely to be 100% social media based. there's just such a huge turnout or turnaround. Is it turnaround? Is that the right word?
Yeah, or return on
Or return on investment, which is ridiculous on social media. I mean, it probably quadruple what I'm getting right now in a week if I go through Facebook ads and things like that. So that's my whole thing, going 100% social media right now.
How about you?
Very much like what Eric's talking about. It's the same way there's a shift in a market, there's also a shift in your approaches on how you're going to address the market. I think social media is showing us a great return on investment. I'm actually going away from some of the more traditional lead generating items where people are selling you leads to self-generating leads, but through investing more into social media advertising. I like the fact that it's more targeted. We can get more specific to the demographic within our own specific areas. So that's kind of a nice formula. In addition to that, investing in more coaching for the team itself, being able to understand how to actually, okay, we're doing great at procuring the leads now, but what do you get once you have them? You know, how are you converting these leads? So I think lead conversion coaching is also a strong investment that we're making this year. And
That's great.
Basically, you know, in order to convert more of the leads that we are actually taking. Because I think conversion, what you're talking about is we all have this ego where we're thinking, if I had that lead, I would have closed him in 3 days. I would have had him under contract by now. It's not necessarily the case, but your Monday morning quarterbacking a lot. You're sitting on the sideline saying, he should have ran left instead of right. So what happens is, at least in my situation, I want to take that responsibility off of my shoulders to focus more on getting more listings, working more with the leads that I have, but making sure that my team is professionally coached. And I think that investing in education is going to be a big part of our success this year.
That's a good point. I think that, or I know that at Kurz Real Estate, one of the biggest things we pride ourselves is in our training and our coaching. And we have a very specific approach to coaching and training where a lot of companies are teaching the same old shit, you know? And it's the same shit they've been teaching for a fucking decade already, you know? And we're taking it to another level. We want to teach sales. It's like, it's great. I want to teach you how to lead generate. I want to teach you how to get business. What happens when you get business? Like, at that point, like somebody raises their hand and says, I'm available, I'm ready, let's go. You know? And so a lot of people don't know how to convert that. And then it gets even deeper, right? Because a lot of people don't know how to convert that conversation. But let's say you successfully convert that conversation. Maybe you didn't know how, but maybe the person rose their hand so fucking high that they came to see you, right?
Exactly.
And then so now they come see you, and they create this situation where now they got to sit with somebody and talk about the purchase of their home, right? Exactly. And then so now they don't know how to do that. You know, and this is real with a lot of real estate professionals out there, or agents out there, because now you're sitting at a buyer's consultation, you don't know how to properly create and produce and conduct a buyer's consultation. And the buyer consultation is done. And then you take them to see properties. You don't know how to properly move them through a property. You don't know how to educate them on a community. You don't know the names of appliances. You don't know the types of rock that sit on top of countertops. Like and there are certain things that, you know, that an advanced agent, someone with good experience, has. And the ability to walk around a house that you've never been in and show somebody that home as if you've been there 100 times. And then take that. So now that was just getting to the point where you're showing them houses. That was pretty complex on its own.
Right.
And then finally, they again raise their hand and say, I want to place an offer on this property. And you say, okay, great. And now you go write up an offer. Some agents out there don't even know how to write up an offer.
Well, back up for a second. The reality is how many agents out there can honestly say they actually follow a buyer's consultation? And what is this service?
Many don't. Many don't. They're raising their hands. Somebody raises their hand and says, I'm available to go see houses. And agents, God bless their souls, get so excited that they just run out the door.
What time are you available?
Yeah, they're not asking for proof of funds. They're not asking for pre-approvals. They're not asking the right questions. They're not sitting with them. They're, you know, and it's a proven fact. If you sit down with somebody and do a buyer's consultation, you're spending literally, I think, and I read this somewhere, you're taking 4 weeks off the road. Right? And so, and I can't tell you where I read that. I'll look it up and I'll try to post it in the comments below. But you're taking 4 weeks off the road, like, and there's good reason. You know what they're looking for. It's not a trial and error. You know, you're not just taking them out to see houses and learning while you're wasting time out there. That's time, man. You can't. This is one commodity you can never ever get back. Time. You know, and so they're out there doing this, and you say back up, but you know, it's I don't know.
Well,
you guys chime in.
Eric, for example, I mean, you and I have talked about this. How many times you get a phone call on one of your listings? Yeah, how much does this house cost? You don't want to know how many bedrooms it has? I mean, how do you know the house even works for you? Does it matter if the house is free if it's not right for you?
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to the buyer consultation. One of the interesting things, though, is that, to your point, so many agents will rush out there because they're excited to have what they think is a lead. The reality is you have a tire kicker until you convert them. If you don't learn those hot
Or qualified, no matter. Just qualified.
It's
some basic qualification questions.
Well, dude, that happened to me when I first started in real estate. It was crazy. I got a lead from my buddy Jen, and I started talking to the lady. She was out of state. She sends me, I was all excited. I was like, yeah, I got a lead. This is awesome. 300K, woo! So I'm running around, and I'm taking pictures of the building. She's like, I want you to take pictures of the outside, the inside, check out this unit, so see which ones I can pick from. I spent about 2 weeks doing, like, search and reconnaissance, like in the military, man. And I come back, and I lay everything out. The lady was not pre-approved. Had no intention on buying anything. And I found this out because I spoke to her husband, and her husband had no idea she was doing this. She was just pulling me along for, like, I don't know, fun times or something like that. Or
why are you talking to my wife so much? She's not buying anything.
Or maybe it's just an elderly person that has nothing to do, and you know they just want somebody to talk to. And there's people that do crazy stuff like that. So I spent 2 weeks like an animal running around like a maniac trying to meet schedules to make appointments on places for something that was never really going to happen because I never vetted my lead, man.
You never qualified.
Yeah.
And that's huge. And this is the beginning of the transaction. This is like starting point of a transaction, because then you go into writing a contract, negotiating a contract, negotiating the inspection, results, negotiating appraisal, should that come in different, dealing with a lender, dealing with a title company, knowing how to read a lien search, knowing how to look at clean title, knowing the process. I'm not saying real estate agents need to know the entire mortgage process, but know the process well enough so that you can follow a path, right? Yeah. Have a plan, and then get them to the closing table on time and with as minimal stress as possible, because this is a stressful situation for a lot of buyers and sellers, So with the changes that you guys have done in your business, what are you looking for in listing lead flow? Like, how are you getting listings?
Listings, that's something that I'm still trying to figure out. That's like my dragon that I've been chasing, It's a little difficult, especially when you're new on the block. I mean, usually listings, at least from what I've seen, it's the people who usually get a lot of listings are people who have been in the business for a little bit, and they're usually through referrals. If not, I mean, you got to be a cold calling beast and start hunting stuff down. Or, just go out there and network a little bit and try to see who can feed you something, man. But I still haven't figured that part out. I get listings every now and then. Buyers, yeah, but listings is a little tough for me.
Oftentimes, the listing has been mishandled.
Correct.
For 6 months to a year.
And you can look at photographs that look clearly like it came from the iPhone 3.
Yeah. And then so here's a crazy part, and I'll put this out to you guys. Jen and I have been looking for properties, right? And so we're thinking we might buy a new home in the next 12 to 18 months, right? So we start playing the game, we start looking, right? And we're like, okay, well, what's our budget going to be? So we know what we need in our house. And it's funny because, we talk about wants and needs with buyers. So being an experienced realtor, I'm saying, okay, what do I need, right? So I need 2-car garage. That's a need for me because I have a toy. I got my slingshot, right? And then, I would like to buy something else in the future, and we store things in there. So for me, that's a need, right? And then I need a driveway. I need a place to park, right? There's so many homes in South Florida, especially here in Coconut Grove, where parking is impossible.
Yep.
And I like to have people over. That's number one. But more importantly,
We
we
like
have
having over.
3 people. We have 3 drivers in the house, right? So there's 3 cars parked out front all the time, right? And then so right now we live in a place where we have what's it called, tandem parking. So we have to put one in front of the other one and then one like catty corner to the side. And you should see us playing merry-go-karts, trying to get somebody out, So that's important to me. And then we need 4 bedrooms, we need 3 bathrooms, and we need a pool, right? And those are needs for me. And then we need an open kitchen. It's got to be something where, because I just said I like to have people over, kitchen's the focal point of a home. We don't want it to be like, this small room where everybody's hiding out in. We want it to be open to a nice family room or something like that. So we started thinking about it. We started looking. Okay, we look 400 to 600,000, and nope, not going to happen. So we started looking 6 to 8. Nope, not going to happen. So we started looking 8 to a mil. No, maybe. Then we started looking at a mil, 1.2, and you start seeing those houses, right? And it gives us a good gauge of where we're going to be. Now, thank God for me, United States Marine. So 420,000 of that is 0 money down.
Thanks for rubbing that in, man.
Sorry, it's a VA loan, no PMI.
Gosh, man.
160,000 that you don't have
That's
to
it.
pay.
Yeah,
That's all.
it's not biggie.
So,
We're good.
so we start looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? This might be doable in about a year and a half. Buy a $1.2 million house, be squared away. Then I start looking at pictures.
I'm going to adopt a veteran. Pull a house under his name. That's awesome.
He's got to live with you, though.
Doesn't
All right,
matter.
so we start looking at the pictures, and I'm looking at homes that are priced at $1 million, $1.2 million. 9 out of 10 homes had shitty pictures. 9 out of 10 homes, guys. 9 out of 10 homes. It's like if the realtor took $1 million listing and said, I don't want to sell this.
Well, most of the listings that I've gotten, when I go to, I tell them I'm going to set up a photo shoot, they all look at me confused, like scratching that, like, photo shoot? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you guys got to be kidding me, right? It's pretty sad, dude.
Yeah, and so, like going back to the expireds, they were mishandled, and usually the number one mishandling part is presentation, right? They didn't present the home well enough. How do you market a home if you haven't prepared it, if you haven't presented it well enough? I was talking to an agent here yesterday who's about this close to making a move to Kurz Real Estate, and she's like, "Hey, I have a pair of gloves and sneakers in my trunk. If I got to take off my heels, put on a pair of sneakers, throw on some gloves, and throw some mulch down on picture day, I'm doing it. I'll make it happen. You know why? Because it needs to be presented the right way."
And it's the way the showing the house, man. I mean, just some people have a knack for that. I mean, look, Dustin's a badass at showing houses, man. I mean, just bringing out highlighting the good parts of the house. He just has a knack for that. I mean, I'm in there doing broker crashes, and it makes me want to buy the house sometimes. I'm like, I'll buy it, like, right now. What do I got to do? This is amazing.
Again, if you haven't seen Broker Crashers, you got to catch it. These guys have very specific roles. Dustin's trying to show the room. Eric's jumping on the bed.
Eric's trying to live the room, live in the house, you know?
Eric's jumping on the bed in the bedroom, but he started running from the living room.
I'm proving what Dustin's explaining. That's what it is.
And this looks like a comfortable bed.
This is a big shower. I'm all over that.
Showering, jumping
Is that a stripper pole in the backyard?
Let's try it out.
It's all about that lifestyle.
It's like you remember those shows that used to come on at midnight? And they'd be like, and we could make the food and the this and that.
Oh my God, the infomercials and all that stuff. Oh, dude, I would buy
everything. So you're the guy that's like this, like showing the product, and he's the guy tasting the food. Wow, this is really good,
Eric, that could have gone a whole other direction.
I was just trying to avoid that at all costs.
Listen, guys, what you do on your off time.
So to get back to your point, though, I've never understood that, especially in South Florida where we have such an influx of people that relocate from other parts of the country, other parts of the world. Somebody's sitting thousands of miles away, and the
flipping through photos.
Yeah, I don't want to see this house. Oh, look at this house. And the difference is the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is I ran into this one house. I like the old houses, right? And so I like really old houses, like early 1900s. Original wood floors, like that kind of
Arc doorways, all that stuff.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
Oh man, like my old house was like that. I love that house. And so I saw a house like that on there, but every photo looked like it was taken at night with no lights on.
And those
Like,
houses look haunted if you don't shoot them right.
Yeah.
so that's what it looked like. So I was like, well, I don't think I'm going to this one. You know, I don't even want to see it. Like, that's freaky, bro. You know.
And
what
if
if
you
they
do-
are professional photos and the ghost messed them up? You know.
Take a young priest and an old priest with you there. Straight up, man.
You start
But
seeing
it's-
orbs in
it's-
all of his pictures.
Oh, God. It's definitely terrifying.
I think, you know, it gets to the point where education is key, and I'm glad that we brought that up, because we go from understanding how to market a home and some of the changes that these guys are making in their businesses and some of the changes we're making here at Kurz Real Estate to enhance the experience, right? To enhance, like, the client that decides to work with the Dustin Fealy group or Morales exclusive group, they have an experience that they're about to go through, and these guys are working to enhance that experience and make it better, right? And then for us here at Kurz Real Estate, we're trying to enhance our experience to make it better for them, right? And it becomes a trickle so that they, in turn around to their agents on their teams and teach them and help them grow and make sure that they're all at the training classes so that they enhance their ability to give a proper experience to a client. And I think that this is all extremely important, from marketing to education to having the right environment to everything else. It's a huge difference in anyone's business,
Right.
regardless of what you're selling, regardless of who your clients are, regardless of anything. You know, if you're in the sales business, you better know how to market. If you don't know how to market, you better fucking hire somebody who does.
Yeah.
Because look, I'm not telling all of you. Social media is huge. Both of these guys said they're going the social media direction. None of these guys are doing it themselves. I'm telling you that right now, that we have somebody who's getting it done for them. And that's key, ladies and gentlemen. And it's key to have somebody, you know, do you want to do it yourself, or do you want to pay somebody who's built a multi-million-dollar social media production and media company? Like, trust that guy. All right? That guy seems to know what he's doing, right? Because people keep hiring him. Huh?
I'm a Gen Xer. I'm not playing with it.
You know, and it's just, look, I really feel that people need to wake the fuck up, especially real estate agents. And for you buyers and sellers out there, this message is for you too. Wake up, man. Ask that real estate agent what it is that they're doing for marketing. What is their company doing for marketing? Because guess what? When they list your house, that listing belongs to, ta-da, the broker, the company, okay? And so that agent's responsibility is to market your property. That broker's responsibility is to properly support that agent. So if you have the right tools, if you have the right setup, if you have the right agent, your house is going to get sold. This is basic fucking math. Proper pictures, great showings, open houses, great marketing. Some properties deserve an individual website. Others don't. So forth, so on. Make Facebook ads on properties, retargeting. I mean, listen, if you're a buyer or seller, you call me and I'll tell you what you need to be asking, okay?
And you raise a good point about the brokerage, too. One of the things that I think is a challenge in the industry is how many retreads you have taken their same philosophies from brokerage to brokerage. And some of the older, more established brokerages, yeah, they've been around. They may seem more established, but are they stuck in the old habits and the old ways?
1,000%. And most of them don't know how to transition to the next step.
Right.
Most of them, and they become a big moving machine, and they become almost too big to understand change. And I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of independent brokerages coming out right now, and a lot of them are very strong. We're one of them. To the big guys out there, you big names out there, just one thing. Remember what happened to Blockbuster. All I'm going to say, okay? Because they were stuck in their ways. They were an old school way of watching movies. They thought to themselves, there's no way in the world that somebody's going to sit down in front of a computer to watch movies.
They should have
Except
started.
we watch it here.
Yep.
We watch it on the iPad. We watch it on the TV. Like I mean, TVs are now coming with Netflix and what's the other thing?
Smart TVs they can hook up to.
Yeah,
Hulu and all that stuff.
and
Yeah.
all this stuff already preloaded.
Right.
Right? And if the shit's already preloaded, you don't even need cable. You just buy a TV and internet.
Yep.
Think about this for a second. If the client, if the market
Comcast is smart.
Yeah, Comcast.
Let me tell you something. I'm
They're filthy loaded.
I'm gonna give Xfinity a round of applause right now. Comcast is extremely smart. I'm gonna tell you why Comcast is smart. On their box, you can access Netflix,
Everything.
Hulu,
Yeah.
every YouTube, from their box. Not only that, but they have the on-demand, right? So you can access almost everything you see on Netflix, you see on there. And here's the best part. If you want to watch a movie, I have the remote and I talk to the remote and I say, let's say Scarface, right? And if it's not available in their library, but it is on Netflix, it'll tell me.
Dude, I remember the first time seeing somebody talking into one of those things. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing, bro? I'm here chilling with a beer in my hand. I'm watching the game. And all of a sudden, I look at Adam, and he gets on, and I see him talking. I was like, is this guy, like, pretending it's like a lightsaber? He's like a Jedi trying to talk or something? I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm like, Fox News Channel.
I gotta get out of here, Spock.
I seriously was like, dude, what the heck, man?
But going back to my previous point, the market and the client, every agent comes out with transactions. It turns into a competition. Whoever has the most transactions. It's funny in a
Oh my
market.
God! You wait to the next K coaching.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. So next K coaching is gonna be. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Next K coaching is gonna be in March. It used to be 8 1-hour classes. It used to be 8 1-hour classes in a month. Every what was it doing Tuesday? No, Monday and Thursday. It was Monday and Thursday, right? Every Monday and Thursday we're doing Monday, Thursday for an entire month, 8 times. I changed it. We're gonna do 4 classes.
A week?
No,
I was like, wow,
4
that's
classes.
full time.
Once a week, every Monday, and they're going to be seminar crack app style. So there'll be like 3-hour courses.
Ooh.
But you see, even the education evolves. How to make the education more effective. And that's one of the cool things, being in a training brokerage and staying ahead of the curve. The retreads that are out there, it's just one of these things. Pay your desk fee, pay your transaction fee. This is the cut that we want. Have at it.
Yeah, go do your thing. I mean, hey, listen.
So we keep doing that out there.
You keep doing it out there, or you come join Kurz Real Estate. Look, here's an experience. I won't say names or anything like that, but there was an agent who came up to us who told me, listen, if I join though, I have these 2 listings that I have to put up. I said, no problem. I said, why hadn't you put them up yet? She said, she goes, it's my house and my brother-in-law's house. I go, okay. Why didn't you put them up at your own company? Because I'm a new agent. I don't know what to do. I asked so many people to help me out, and no one wanted to help me out, and it just became, and I just kind of quit. And so it was a big company.
How horrible was that, dude? That's crazy.
It's a big name, big company, okay? And now we're in a situation where she has these 2 homes to sell, and she's got to do it, and she has 2 brother-in-laws, and one of them got tired of waiting on her and hired somebody else. So the other brother-in-law waited, and of course, it's her house, so she's trying to figure it out. She joins. I say, okay, you join up. Let's set an appointment. We'll sit down and talk about the houses.
I know this
sit down
person.
and run
These
comps on
are
these
high-dollar houses.
Both homes were over $5 million.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the brother that didn't list, his was another $5 million house as well. So that's
his was
That's
another
over $15 million worth of
And
houses,
there were
bro.
3 homes right next to each other. Talk about signage opportunity,
It's crazy.
right? And so I'm sorry to the other company who was a very big company who had an opportunity to put $15 million on the board, but we took that from you.
Shit, I'm
We
sorry
took
to
that
the
from
agent
you
that had to
because
deal with that.
All we had to do was pay attention to our agent and say, what is it that you need? How can I help you? How can I help you grow? Oh, you have 2 listings? Let's put them up. Let's do this. And then so we sat down, we figured it out, we spread it away, we listed both of them. The brother-in-law who listed with somebody else ended up selling much less than he wanted to, okay, because he didn't wait. And it's not his fault. He didn't know that she would end up here, right? The other 2 homes, one sold at ask
That's
and
beautiful.
closes soon, and the other one is soon to go under contract.
Nice.
The first one was a sweet deal.
Hmm?
The first one was a sweet deal.
Yeah.
Celebrity purchase, nice. But again, marketing into the right places.
Yep.
How do you find that house?
Well,
Hey, and let me ask you guys. Sorry to branch off a little bit, but touching back on the subject of what we're doing, at least what I'm doing new for my team this year, also is a subject that I don't think is touched on a lot. Is self-development. How do you get these people to deal with the emotional side of real estate, the ups and the downs? This is a very mental and very spiritual energy-based type of industry where you need to be on point every day, positive, because if a little bit of negativity gets you, it drags you down and it will beat the shit out of your mental psyche out.
I honestly, I feel like this business is just not for everybody, you know. And it's not just this business. Any business that requires long-term contracts, right? Because we go under contract and it's 30 to 45, sometimes 60 days before we get to a closing, and we don't get paid unless we actually get to a closing. And so when you have like 10 of these going on at the same time, and they all have different things, like I tell everybody all the time, every deal has its own heartbeat soul, right? And so every deal is going to be different, every deal is going to act different, and you're going to have emotional roller coasters going
all over the place.
Every one of them. And if you can't handle that, this is not the business for you.
That
it's simply that.
Of course.
Either you figure out how to handle it, but some folks drown in a cup of water. And it's just unfortunate.
And sometimes all you need to do is pull the veil over their eyes so they can see sometimes. Because, you know, sometimes it's not that they're not built for it. It's just sometimes they can't see it. Or sometimes they think that this is just normal and this sucks.
That boils down to experience.
Of course. But how does a newbie, a newbie has no experience.
Mentorship.
So exactly, that's what I'm trying to get at.
1000% mentorship.
And, you know, and self-development, like, you know, meditation, time management, goal setting, all these things are super important, man, that nobody really touches.
So let's be real.
Having somebody to mentor you.
Eric's got his team on Quaaludes. They're taking Prozac on the...
Before team meeting, everybody take the blue pill.
Everybody's taking Prozac with Eric.
That's awesome.
That way you can yell at them and they're like, yeah.
But listen,
Cobra and pills.
my last meeting that I had, we touched on a little bit of self-development and a lot of these things. And, dude, when everybody got out of there, the energy was crazy. It was awesome, man. So I'm going to start touching up on stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm just picturing Eric in yoga pants. Sorry.
Heck yeah. Chaps, yoga pants. Yes.
Guys, I've seen it. It's not pretty. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We'll be back every single week, and we do a lot of videos in between, too. So
Tons.
You'll never get rid of me. Point up to that corner right there. I don't know which corner it is, but follow us. And we'll make sure we stay in contact with you, giving great information every single week. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for following us. Thank you guys for being on the show with
sir.
me.
Thank you for having us.
Broker Crashers, check them out. New episode coming soon.